control over social and political structures. The bankers create and finance the wars on both sides of the conflicts. The bankers orchestrate famine, poverty, and want. The bankers control the policies that control the media and the education system that is operated to maintain ignorance in the public so that they can be shorn like sheep. The bankers launder the drug money and keep drugs illegal. The bankers are the problem. The international banker is the scum of the earth, and they have to be brought to account. What will accomplish this? There are several possibilities. One of them is a real run on Wall Street, where the public goes into their offices and dispenses frontier justice on their person. The other is some kind of cosmic intrusion of forces that I won't begin to speculate on. And the other is some kind of financial miracle in which they actually wind up broke. But I don't know how something like that would work. The most likely is a combination of the first two, where the second channels through the first. Once the cost of food, lodging, and fuel hits a certain point, the public will be universally galvanized by the force that builds up from the pressure of their asses against the wall. We can be there in a few days. Once the system begins to collapse, it will have its own speed of free fall, and things will move at a spectacular rate of change. It will be like the way weather can suddenly transform in the South Seas. At the point when this begins to occur, the probability of global conflict will accelerate to maximum thrust. This is the primary truth about imperial currency activity. When the money goes south, violent attention goes east. Yes, maybe it will all just limp along on crutches while plastered with band-aids, but that goes contrary to the mathematics. You can spread the numbers only so thinly, or you can only press them together so much, and you're going to get holes appearing in the net all over the place, or you're going to get implosion. Do I have any idea what I'm talking about? It is possible that I do not. There's an area where allegorical poetry gains a mystical influx of metaphysical certainty that is no different from the theoretical physics, where theory is just another word for things we don't want to accept as inevitable. Maybe freedom's just another word for no one left to screw. It stands to reason that sooner or later the public will have no further option but to declare open season on the bankers. They'll be hunted down as the be-all and end-all of everything dangerous and wrong. They are a plague and a pestilence as bad as any epidemic. They are the whiskey and yellow fever blankets on the reservations of ordinary life. They are anthrax masquerading as sweet and low. They are the long-standing source of the majority of humanity's problems and have little competition except for the ubiquitous presence of ignorance and impossible dreams. Whoever these bankers are, that is who they are. When the shit hits the fan, as it is going to do at any moment, the guilt of the banksters is going to stand out like zits on a beauty queen. The transformation in the mind of the public is going to be immediate. People watch the news, and although it is nothing more than garbage and lies, the players have all been seen there. They've been seen in Congress, and they've been seen wherever the lies created to defend them have been publicized. They are a known quantity. There is no argument of any kind that can be used to generate sympathy for the bankers, who are either behind or finance every outrage against the public that is in existence. Now, their day is at hand, and they show no signs of having any kind of clue. They sit at their vanities and admire their image like Marie Antoinette. They whoop it up like Louis XVI in Versailles, surrounded by gold leaf wallpaper and sycophants, while they diddle the sons and daughters of a dying empire that they brought to pass. There is mercy to be found here, but none of it can be for the banksters who have acted with none in their intentional efforts to beggar, mutilate, maim and destroy anyone and everyone who was not them. That mercy is for the public who, like Lefty, only did what he had to do. I try to get my heart and head around it. I try to see an out for everyone, but the only out I can see for the banksters is out of our lives, and marched still living through the gates of hell, where they can reunite with the banker-in-chief. I'm not the judge or executioner. I'm an observer who's never had enough money to even think about the banks in the first place. Now the bankers tightly grasp what is going to turn into flaming coals in their hands. Judgment is going to cry out from the earth they walk upon and have plundered at will. That will is now going to be drained away into fear and apprehension. Their fortress walls are going to fall away. Their protectors are going to turn on them. Their holdings are going to dissolve and spill from their fingers like a handful of sand. I wouldn't want to be a bankster today, or on any other day. The existence of a system has kept them safe. This corrupt system has allowed for some kind of life for those preyed upon until now. Now it has turned upon those whose compliance has been forthcoming for so long. Soon that compliance will be gone, and there are not enough police and armies to quell what is going to rise out of the midst. Maybe I'm wrong about this, but like everything else, we'll see.
Attention Wall Street. We are anonymous. Recently we have shown you our determination by protesting on Wall Street. You have effectively imposed a media blackout to reduce the chances of the events being noticed by the world. You have effectively had the police use physical force on peaceful protesters. Only then did the mainstream media cover anything. This is a clear demonstration of your level of corruption. It is now time for our first response. Fellow Anons, and anybody on earth that stands for freedom, it is time to hit Wall Street in the pocketbooks. As a response to the media blackout, we are activating Operation Green Out. Go to the bank and close your accounts. Take all your money out of the bank and keep it in a safe place. If you are unable to take all of your money out, then take as much as you can. Operation Green Out is a permanent operation. If you hear about it in a week, a month or even a year or two after the announcement, it is now your turn to hit them in the pocketbooks. Wall Street. You brought this upon yourselves by imposing the media blackout. This is a peaceful and legal response. Now, take your medicine and like it. We are anonymous. We are legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us.
Solutions. I'm so glad to see you guys here. I'm just so thrilled that so many of us have actually been able to crack our program, to crack our mind control program that we've been living under for all of these years, and I salute you. I salute you for thinking freely. The corrupt fear us, the honest support us, the heroic join us. I love your masks. I love you guys.
Love you, Rosie. We love you too, Rosie.
We all love freedom. Thank you, honey. We all love freedom. Quote from a wonderful writer, a wonderful woman. Her name was Mary Daly. She's my idol. There is no liberty without truth. There's only what? I know there's not that many people. How do we get more people? I'll tell you what we have to do. We have to merge small ego into large ego. That's what we have to do. That's what faction the left the first time around when in the 60s when I was there and saw everybody's supposed small ego, keep them from coalescing and uniting. That's what we have to do. Put it aside. Don't say, I'm starting my own website. Get with people who already have a website and who've already done the work. Just walk in and volunteer. That's what we do.
That's right.
We unite. We get the Teamsters on our side. After we have that, we close down every bridge and every road. It's hard. How do you do it? You just walk over there and do it.
There you go. No negativity. Hey, if you haven't noticed,
The police to be on our side against those people who are trying to take their retirement funds. We would ask for unity from the police and also from the military. The same people are, First responders like yourselves, absolutely. Royally screwed. I mean, we're all royally screwed now. I mean, anybody who makes less than $250,000 is royally screwed in this country, and it's only going to get worse until they have labor camps and then they get your free labor. Then that is where it's headed. They're not going to stop.
Yeah.
So whatever you have to do, even if it seems hard, we know, right? Don't we know?
Yeah.
Huh? If it's easy, it's not worth it. Why don't you guys come up one at a time and say one of your lines? I just want you to know that I hear you, and I know you hear me, and pretty soon the whole whole world is going to hear us. Pretty soon it won't be 500 people, and there won't be a choice either, because that's where it's headed. There won't be a choice. The more people who are disenfranchised and thrown off we've already won by sheer numbers alone. And we would ask the people in the military and the police to join us because we're on the same side against the same people. Same hands, same people. Just let it sink in. You want to come up? Does anybody else have anything to add?
Sister, can I steal the mic from you for a second?
Free Bradley Manning, absolutely.
My sister, can I steal it?
Sure. Where are you? Can't see you. Hi.
All right. Occupy Wall Street!
Occupy Wall Street!
Occupy Wall Street!
Occupy Wall Street! Occupy Wall Street!
Occupy Wall Street!
Occupy Wall Street!
Occupy Wall Street!
Occupy Wall Street!
It's rad, it's rad, it's rad.
A couple of announcements from the General Assembly. First announcement.
Let's walk to Wall Street!
Just 1 moment from now, behind me, if you're interested, there's going to be a non-denominational or no denominational prayer service with the protest chaplain right behind me at 6 p.m.
Jesse, so Ray, your partner here, colleague,
Comrade.
she got, seen the protests in Greece and Europe, elsewhere. Did you guys take your cue from that? Are you hoping to incite, certainly what was a lot of attention, if not police activity? I know over the weekend there was over 100 arrests, and you guys got things fired up. Are you taking your cues from the international movement? And how do you want to see this in? What do you, if you could have it in a perfect way, how would it be?
Well, I don't know. It's really difficult to kind of answer questions leading to those conclusions. I'd say that we didn't take our cue off of anybody, really. It became a more spontaneous movement. As far as seeing this end, I wouldn't like to see it end. I'd like to see the conversation continue. This is what we should have been talking about after 2008 when the economy collapsed. We basically patched a hole on the tire and said, yeah, let the car keep rolling. Unfortunately, it's fun to talk to the propaganda machine in the media, especially conservative-leaning networks such as yourself, because we find that we can't get conversations on the Department of Justice's ongoing investigation of News Corporation, for which you are an employee, but we can certainly ask questions like, why are the poor engaging in class warfare? Now, after 30 years of having our living standards decrease while the wealthiest 1% have had it better than ever, I think it's time for maybe, I don't know, some participation in our democracy that isn't funded by news cameras and gentlemen such as yourself.
Okay, but let me give you this challenge, Jesse.
Sure.
We're here giving you an opportunity on the record with Credit Ancestry to put any message you want out there, give you fair coverage, and I'm not going to in any way be biased about it. So there is an exception to the case because you wouldn't be able to get your message out without us, yes?
No, certainly. I mean, take for instance when Glenn Beck was doing his protest and he called the president a person who hates white people and white culture. That was a low moment in Americans' history, and you guys kind of had a big part in it. So I'm glad to see you coming around and kind of paying attention what the other 99% of Americans are paying attention to, as opposed to the far-right fringe who would love to just destroy the middle class entirely.
All right, fair enough. You have a voice and an important reason to criticize myself, my company, and anyone else. But let me ask you this. In fairness, does this administration, or President Obama, have any criticism as to the financial situation in countries in there?
I think myself, as well as many other people, would like to see a little bit more economic justice or social justice, Jesus stuff, as far as feeding the poor, health care for the sick. I find it really entertaining that people like to hold the Bill of Rights up while they're screaming at gay soldiers, but they just can't wrap their heads around the idea that a for-profit health care system doesn't work. So let's just look at it like this. If we want the president to do more, let's talk to him on a level that actually reaches people, instead of asking for his birth certificate and wasting time with total nonsense like cilantro.
Well, I didn't see any TV yesterday, but I read the Associated Press. It seems pretty comprehensive. It will gather momentum if there is staying power. It really is up to these people rather than the media. The fact that I'm here today, it took 2 weeks for me to get here, but others will follow if this sticks. You know, there's so many distractions. People have their own lives. You know, if it's only going to be the hardcore, like the G20 kind of demonstrators, you won't go anywhere. But if you really get mainstream people down who aren't professional